My grand total to start a business. What's up, my icons? It's the iconic fashion figure, and I'm back with another business video. Today I'll be talking about the first hurdle that everyone seems to struggle to get over when starting a business, and that has to do with money. Usually the first questions I get about starting it, like how do we register and things like that, is one thing. Once you get past that, the next question is usually, well, how much do I need to do all of this? So today I'll be going through, as far as starting a small online business, what type of money you will need to get yourself started. And when I say small, we're starting out small. It's baby steps. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you'll get notified every time I upload. So let's keep this intro short and get right into the video. So in the last business video, we discussed the little things that you need to do to actually get started, which was registering your business, website, and then shopping, vendors, things like that. If you haven't watched that video, I'll link it somewhere up at the top of the screen. Make sure you go watch it before finishing this one, and then come back to this one. So the first thing you'll need to pay for is when you register your business, which can range depending on what state you're in, which I told you guys I'll be creating that list for you to send to you. Just have to make sure to let me know your Instagram, Facebook. I use Snapchat too, so I guess Snapchat, or even an email where I can send the list to you so it'll have the information for you for your state. But that can range anywhere from $35 for like a DBA. I think it might be the cheapest state, maybe $25. So let's say $25 at our lowest, up to maybe like $225. So it's a big range between a DBA and LLC. But let's say you're starting out between $25 to $225. Is going to be your initial start. You'll want to have the business registered so you find out what's best for you and what fits your budget to register. Your tax ID and your resale license is free. At least the resale license should be free. I don't know about every state. I'll double check on that one as I'm creating the list. But those should be free for you. So that, as far as registering the business, that's really the only thing you'll have to pay for, is the actual DBA or the LLC. The next thing you'll want to pay for is your website and domain. Like I mentioned to you guys before, some website builders like Wix.com, they include your domain for free for the first year, so you don't have to pay for that. If you are using a different website builder that doesn't include the domain, just use GoDaddy.com. It's usually 99 cents for the first year. So that way your website, basically your URL, is reserved for you. So that way you can use it for your website, you can use it for your company email, but that'll be yours. So you can either, the domain can either be free with your website or 99 cents. And then as far as the website, depends where you choose to build your website. So again, this part is going to be a range. Figure out what works for your business and what fits your budget. I think when I first did my website with Wix.com, I paid $150 for the first year because they were offering some promo code where you get 50% off. So I want to say it was $150. But I believe the pricing has gone up since then, because I did it again. I did it again with that 50% off promo, and I want to say I paid $200 for the first year. But now that I use WordPress.org and I pretty much put in all the work myself, I didn't pay as much for a website. I already had the domain, which after my first year of 99 cents, switched over to $14.95 a year. So $15 a year for the domain is what I paid. And then I had to pay for hosting, which I want to say, I have to double check on the hosting. I'll put it on the screen, but I feel like it was like $40 for the first year. I had to pay for security for the site since people will be putting their personal information on there. It's the SSL certificate is what it's called. I want to say that was $69 a year. And all this through GoDaddy.com. Domain, hosting, and the SSL certificate, all with GoDaddy.com. But I think that's all I paid for on my website. So the 69 plus, what did I say the other one? I wanted to say it was 39. I got to double check on that. And the $15. So I paid for those three, and in total with those three, I was looking at $120 or so. Let's say $125 for my website. So that's for the website. Now, you might think that doesn't seem like I'm spending a lot more than what I spent on Wix and then have to spend less time building a Wix website. But because I needed so many different features on my website, as far as like making things private so people couldn't see everything without registering, and then requiring approval for me to accept them to be able to go on the website, to be able to do those features on Wix, I would have to pay a lot more. So that was actually cheap for me to be able to do it through WordPress.org, which is why I say you have to find out what works best for your business and your budget. But that's the website, $125. So the next thing you'll have to pay for is all your marketing materials. So you'll want to buy business cards, which I actually found at Staples. I gotta pull up numbers. I probably should have done that before actually recording this video, but I feel like I paid $30 for 500 business cards at Staples, and it was ready the same day. There's some other websites which I can link down below where I've gotten business cards from as well, which is a little better quality than Staples, but obviously it's a longer wait time as far as business cards. Actually, pricing shouldn't be too much more. So you want business cards, so have your business name on it, your contact information, your website. You'll want shipping materials, which as far as shipping boxes, you can get from USPS.com. You can get those boxes for free. Just the only thing is you can only use those to ship through the post office. You can't use those for FedEx or UPS. You can get FedEx and UPS boxes, but I don't think they give them to everyone for free. Whereas USPS, you can order it as free. They deliver it right to your door. And you can actually schedule pickups for them to pick up your orders when you're ready to ship out. So you'll get that for free. I like to kind of decorate my packages when shipping so it feels like a gift to the customer when they receive it, and it's not just opening up a box and there's product there. So I would recommend like tissue paper, ribbons, things like that. And those things you can get cheap. You can find it on Amazon pretty cheap if you buy a larger amount, but you're probably going to spend like $20 for it. Or you can just go to your dollar store and buy a pack of tissue paper for $1, and there's enough sheets in there to probably get you through like 20 orders. So that's pretty decent. And same with ribbon, you can get out of there as well for $1. You don't need to do too much as far as the packaging, just try to make it look cute. As far as the labels, you'll need a printer. Most of you may already have it at home. Some may not, because it seems like this day and age we don't really use printers as much as we used to in the past. I do have a printer. There's also specific thermal heat printers for labels, but those are running at like $100 and up. Whereas during Black Friday time, you can probably get a printer for like $30. Just remember you have ink cost and paper cost too. My one recommendation to you when starting out, you can go to your local post office and use those machines that they have usually in the lobby and print your labels there. What I used to do, because there was one point when my printer broke, or I might have ran out of ink or something, I don't remember, but I couldn't print my labels at home. And what I did was I would pack up all my orders at home. I would put a sticky note on each package so I knew who it belonged to before closing up the package, and had their address on the sticky note as well. Drive to my local post office, and I would sit at that machine, and because there's a scale on there and everything, so I can weigh it, punch in all the information on the machine, pay for it in that moment, and just stick the label right on the box. So I didn't need to pay for ink, I didn't need to pay for paper, I didn't need a printer, even though I already had one, I just couldn't use it at the time. But I was still able to ship out my orders. The only thing is you just have to be able to get to your post office, which is usually one close by anyway, because they're the one delivering your mail. So you can do that too, and that'll save you cost on ink and paper and buying a printer. And the other thing too is if you haven't ordered your boxes yet, that you can get for free on USPS.com. Like I said, they have the boxes right there in the store, so you can just grab a box, pack up there. You just have to bring all your packing supplies with you. That's the only headache with that part. So you'll want the boxes ahead of time. That's pretty much it as far as shipping cost. So now the big part that everyone's probably questioning is your product. Product cost depends on what you are ready to buy. So you have to budget this out for yourself. When I chose to do the whole boutique side online business, I literally bought 5 products to get me started. And then from there, as it was selling, just buying more, and I was able to build it up. So when I first started, I bought 3. I bought 3 dresses because dresses were cheaper. Well, not technically cheaper, but you get more for your money, because when you buy a dress, that's your outfit. You don't need a top to go with the bottom or a bottom to go with your top. You just wear a dress. So those were easier to sell, and it just seems like more value for your money. So I had 3 different dresses. I had a top, which was technically a bodysuit, but you could wear it as a top. And then I had a pair of shorts, since this was for springtime. So I had 5 items. As I started to sell those 5 items, I then added in more items. I added in shoes, but that's kind of how you would want to plan it out. When I bought those 5 items, let me do the math real quick. How much did I spend? I ended up spending $270 on those 5 items. So $270 on product to get me started, which is not bad. Most people, if you're working at the time of starting your boutique, you may have a little extra in your check. Hopefully you do. You can start putting that to the side. Or you can either just buy a pack at a time and just start building it up. Don't feel like you have to have this website full of product, like 100 pieces. Just fill it up with pictures, like do different photo shoots, different locations. You can do a bunch of different pictures, but really there's only 5 products on your website to sell. So $270 just for product. So let's do the total of what I spent my first year on my website. I'm going to do an average of that $35, or I said $25 to $225 range of registering your business with your state. It's probably going to be off, but I'm just going to find something in the middle.
So let's say $125 to register your business. Plus I said another $125.
So my grand total to start a business, $553. $553 is give or take, because it depends on what you use to register your business, which can range. So you could probably save money there or spend a little more. Website depends on what you choose, which you can maybe save or spend a little more there. But then product, again, what you choose. But if you have $500 to spare, or if you can first start saving up for at least a year, and in a year, let's say you save up the $553, you can get your website going, and then from there you just continue to build on it, and you'll be surprised how quickly you're able to build up that business just by starting out with 5 products. It'll go a lot faster than you think. You just have to really work hard. You have to hustle and truly promote your product. Once you do that, you get it in front of other people, it'll grow. So that's it for this video. We just went through some of the basics that you need to get started with your online boutique, which we've decided $553 is our number to get started, which is not that much. I can't say how much you have in your budget. You have to decide if that's feasible for you. Maybe you'll only want to start out with 2 products. Maybe you won't even start out by creating a website and you'll do it through Instagram where you're promoting there anyway, and you can just send people an invoice through PayPal where they're protected, but you're still able to make money. And then do your website from there. Decide what's best for you and go from there. But if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up like I've already said, and hit the subscribe button to my channel. So until next week, thank you for watching.